Okay, so salute to everyone out there. Hopefully you're doing well. We're going to jump straight into this. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
The McClure family, what Black men have honestly done with her story is expose themselves. What were the chances, ladies, that she would have found a African American man in her age range that was ready to take on marrying her with her twins so soon after the breakup of her first marriage? This is amazing. I hate the fact that she felt like she needed to lie when it came to the fact that the McClure twins' father is not Justin. In fact, this revelation is going to make her story and the story of so many struggles that Black women face in this country with marriage and these relationships that we experience. This is a powerful, powerful, positive story, ladies. You know, it was funny because I wasn't able to do my video about Justin, her husband's racist tweets and things of that nature. And in my mind, it was just I was supposed to complete my video, but then I couldn't. And then I was on other platforms listening to some other videos. I didn't get through the entirety of some of the other videos, but there was something in me that knew that there was something more happening with their story. That's right. There was something else happening with their story. She is not a scammer. Her story of being a divorced single mother of two beautiful twins and then finding her husband and getting married to her husband now, Justin, and going through the whole storm of the tweets and her undeniable love for him and his undeniable love for her and their daughters and him adopting their daughters actually is more powerful than you ladies will ever, ever, ever imagine. Because if you are narrow minded, you don't really understand the negative stats on Black women and marriage, especially when it comes to Black men. You're delusional. You are delusional. For a lot of you ladies, this whole story, all of this is just going to go completely over your head. You're going to have to be in marriages. You're going to have to be in struggle love relationships. You're going to have to go through years and years and years of torture at the hands of your Black kings for you to really get it, really mentally get it. You don't understand how powerful this story is. You don't get it.
If you do not have a white man, if you are not in a relationship with a white male, can you please stop talking about interracial relationships? You cannot give advice on white men and you don't have one. This is becoming a very trendy thing to do, just like Dr. Venus. Dr. Venus is a Black woman who is married to another Black woman. And she does seminars on telling Black women that white men are the way to go. You and that white man built the world. And again, she's not with a white male. So please, successful single ladies live, or whatever you call yourself, can you stop talking about white men and you don't have one? Now, if you guys pay attention, they are trying to turn this woman into a martyr. This Nigerian woman. I've heard people say she doesn't look at herself as a Black American woman, so therefore those remarks doesn't hurt her. So if that's the case, why are Black American women talking up for her? And I'll tell you why. It suits their narrative. You can be a baby mother by Tyrone and some beta white male. Knight in shining armor will come and rescue you. And the point they're trying to hammer home, they're trying to hammer this point home. Hey, look at Tyrone. He's better than Tyrone. He's better than that black male. Even though this white guy is a alcoholic, was unemployed, he's still better than that black male because at least he gave her biracial children. And come to find out, he's not even their real father. And you guys are still trying to justify that. Now, I don't want to venture off too far, but I had black men come to my channel and leave me links to other black women who did responses on this McLaren family situation. And listen, do not leave me any links. This is a trendy topic, so of course they're going to talk about it. This is the easy part. This is the easy part. Oh, he disrespected a black woman and now he's with one, so we are going to talk about it. That's the easy part. I'm not impressed. Where were these women when Gary Owens had his black wife call another black man a nigga? And black men are so thirsty that they don't understand that they're siding with a group of women who at once agree with all of these women. The girl who swirls, Simone56. A lot of these women used to be in their comment section at one point in time, and now they're at war with each other. And I'm not here to talk about that too much because this is a cow that was overly milked. The breast on this cow will never ever produce any more milk. That's how much this story has been milked. But I have to point out the hypocrisy. I have to point out the real mammies because as we can see that you guys are not using mammy in its proper terms, context, just like you do coon, just like you do beta male. It doesn't hold any weight because you don't use it in its proper context. Now, when you hear the word mammy, okay, they have taken this word mammy, meaning the swirlers, anti-black male swirlers. If you are a black woman and you speak up for black men, you care about black men, you prefer black men, you are considered a mammy. And people have been telling these idiots that, listen, you're using the term wrong. A mammy is you. The mammy is the dark-skinned, overweight black woman in the house, taking care of the child, Massa's child, washing Massa's drawers, rubbing his feet, giving him blowjobs when he wanted, making apple pie from scratch. That's you. That's Simone56. However, she doesn't have a white man neither. We'll get to her in a minute. Crooklyn Blue. She doesn't have a white man neither. We'll get to her in a minute. So you have all these black women that are anti-black male. And what's so interesting about Crooklyn Blue is that she has a black son. How does that work out? How does that work out? And so the real mammies are out here buck dancing. And I find it odd that single broke ladies' lives, she works out of her home, but she has done hundreds or maybe a couple of thousand videos. And no one has never ever came to her door while she's on camera and supported her business, asked about her business. Everything in life happens at least once. You're going to make it to work late at least once in your lifetime. If you leave every day on time, you get to work the same time every day for some odd reason. One day out of 30 years of working there, you will show up late. That's just how life works. But somehow, Broke Lady's life is supposed to be this successful businesswoman with no clients. Go figure. Listen, man, I'm a critical thinker. I'm not like a lot of these groupie black men out here. This, what, I have to make a separate, I got to make a separate video about some of these black men out here. Wow. Just wow. And it's not a good wow. And you see why black men don't get any respect, because your standards are low. You put up with this stuff. I've been telling you. The fact that she couldn't find a black man to take care of her biracial child, but she found a beta male, which was an alcoholic, jobless, and she pretty much took care of him. And you guys are justifying his racial bias because he's white. And then you have the girl who swirls. She's a very, very interesting character because she has been dragged through the mud on social media. She has been dragged through the mud. She has taken a beating, I will say. But her husband has never, ever came to her defense. Not once. And what I find odd is that the girl who swirls went on a trip to Ontario to promote swirling. And my question is, if you are from LA, Hollywood, why would you have to go to Ontario? You can do all that in your own backyard. If you went up the road to North Hollywood, you can do that all day long. And you know this. But somehow you need to go to Ontario to get your point across. And you didn't even get your point across. And then you're justifying what he says. And I'm not surprised, because you justified the Libyan slave trade. You justified the Libyan slave trade. You justify black women being raped, just like you justify Dalen Roof going inside of a church, shooting up the church and killing black people. Then you said, oh, well, the majority were black men. These are witches and warlocks. I've been telling you. And until these women call out women like this, I'm not going to take them seriously. These are the women that need to be called out on a daily. You guys are always talking about white supremacy. There has not been one bigger peddler of white supremacy on social media than these swirlers. Their worship never, ever ends. And then you have Crooklyn Blue. She has a son. And she tells black women to abort the babies. If you are pregnant, listen, black women, if you are pregnant and you find out that it is a black boy, abort that MFer. And you got a son and you're raising that son, wow. God bless him. God bless him. And you don't hear any females that is supposed to be pro-family. We're trying to get the black community back together. How about you guys start critiquing her? The fact that you have all of these men of other ethnicities beating the living daylights out of you, and they don't talk about that? This let him off the hook because the black man is that bad. You have Asian men that I've done numerous stories on inside of his beauty supplies, and he's beating down black women. You guys don't speak up for those black women, and you say that you're for black women. You give those foreign men a pass. And that's what you're doing now, because you're the real mammies. I mean, you would think grown American black women would actually know the definition of a mammy, and you're supposed to be the most educated group in America. I know you guys don't like this, but I don't like to be insulted, disrespected. I don't like my intelligence insulted. I get really angry. And now they're trying to paint this picture as if a black man is dating a black woman, it's struggle love. Everyone is doing so much better than the black male. But if you get knocked up by a Caucasian male and he run off and leave you because he couldn't bring your black ass home to his family, he said, I'm out of here. I didn't mean to bust those nuts. So he shakes the spot, but it's okay because he left her with 2 biracial children. And I'm not going to go into the colorism talk, but again, we see who are some of the biggest players, perpetrators in the colorism game. You see, you have a first row view of what's going on right now. Simone56. She's another self-hating, don't have a white man, but talk the most shit. And please, Simone56, keep that makeup on. Wow, you need it. Keep that witchcraft on your face. You need it because without it, wow, you are very hard to look at, to stomach. And what I've noticed is that a lot of these women aren't attractive. It's always the ones that's not attractive that scream out the most, hate the most anti-black male. And I'm going to prove that with a later video. And you have Simone56, and she used to average more views than she does now. And the reason why her view count went down is because she robbed her subscribers with the girl who swirls. Robbed their faithful subscribers, and a lot left them. So these are women that are not credible, that talk the most shit, the most dirty women. Anyone that listens to them needs to be, what you guys call it, side-eyed. It's profitable to push this white man is the God, black man ain't shit, he's the devil. And it's funny how you have Spawn, who was playing Jamie Foxx, is coming out. So the black man is the devil and the white man is God. And so it's a market for that. You guys know it, you tapped in, and this is how you make your bread and butter. And because you are being exposed, the truth is coming out, you guys are in panic mode. You guys are shaming. You guys are name calling. You guys are doing 2-hour live hangouts, Google Hangouts. And it's all about black men. Oh, it's struggle love. A white guy left a black woman who had 5 biracial children, homeless in San Diego. Homeless. 5 biracial homeless children with their black mother. That's struggle love. That's what I call struggle love. And because you guys fail to keep it a buck, you're in panic mode. I told you, you have to treat this like a business, because it is. It brings in money for you. So you have to have instructions, a policy, standards. And the women, the swirlers, the reason why they are able to get away with all of this is because black men are thirsty. Black men are some of the most thirstiest men out there. Do you guys check your comments? Read your comments before you post them. I mean, this is a complete embarrassment. But we'll deal with that in a future video. But this is the real mammies. These swirlers that take up for racist white men, that take up for ghetto gaggers. They have absolutely nothing to say when Gary Owens tell his wife to call another black man a nigger. When that happened, it was crickets. It was crickets. Maybe a few sisters, quote unquote, spoke out, but overall, it was crickets. I took the majority of the heat, the backlash. But it wasn't the first time, and it sure wasn't the last, as you can see. But these women think so bad of you. They hate you so much that they would take disrespect from men of other ethnicities. And you see why men of other ethnicities be planting his foot in black women's rear end, whether it's here in America or in other countries. There was a Lebanese man beating on two Kenyan women in Lebanon, a off-duty Lebanese soldier. Off-duty soldier beating on two Kenyan women in broad daylight. And see, they have absolutely no respect for Africans in Middle Eastern countries. Even though those women were beat in the open, they were still threatened to be deported. And the only reason why they weren't deported was because citizens made a big fuss about it, which they should have. Then you look at what's going on here in America. How you have some of the same type of behavior going on in these beauty supplies. So what's going on is global. It's globally. It's happening on a global scale. And then you have a beta male McLaurin, knight in shiny armor, trying to make his bread and butter in bashing black women. He said at that time, I thought it was funny. Then he said, listen, I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm done. My wife is going to take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. I'm not worried about it. She'll answer the questions. She'll take the blows. They don't respect you. I've been saying this. This is old news. Haven't I been saying they don't respect you just because he has a child? You don't know the difference from someone who actually loves you, want to marry you, versus someone just wanting to bend you over. Or in this case, you gave him a second chance. You helped him get his life together. Kinda in a sort of way. And in return, you have two biracial children. So therefore, well, actually three. You just had birth to a boy. So she had two pregnancies, 3 children by 2 deadbeats. Alcoholic deadbeats. One guy knocked her up and left, and the other guy was an alcoholic, drug addict / mental case, jailbird, DUI. Somehow that's not struggle love. And so they know it's a market for it, and they package it and they sell it. They tapped into that market, and now they are on the ropes because the truth is coming out. And then on top of all of this, you have these white men in America calling cops on black women. Whether it's in CVS or it's at a pool site, whether it's, like that doctor in the gated community. It's not a honeymoon by any stretch of the imagination. And now people are waking up out of their sleep, their coma. Well, this is a coma. This isn't even a nap or an 8-hour sleep. This is a coma. Some people are waking up out of this coma. And so now the mammies, the real mammies, are panicking. The girl who swirls, you're a mammy. Crooklyn Blue, you're a mammy. Simone56, you a mammy. And Broke Single Ladies Live, you're a mammy with a full-blooded black daughter. Shame on all of you guys. And the fact that they have followers, people that actually support them and listen to them, proves there's a market for everything. They have been successful painting a negative image of the black man and a positive image of the white man. He can treat you any type of way as long as he's white. He is still better than that nigga, Struggle Love, Tyrone, Deshaun, Laquan. That's how they view you. And a lot of these women that are supposedly in an uproar now, a lot of these same women supported those mammies at one point in time. I'm out. Peace.